What is up, crew? It has been far too long since we have done a live Q&A sesh, so I'm going to hop on here for the next hour, chill with you guys, because I miss your faces. Well, I guess internet tag, username, faces. So hopefully you guys can hear and see me okay. Got a new MacBook since I've done a live stream, so hopefully everything is synced up, ready to rock, no tinkering with tech stuff. So if you're in the chat, let me know. If you guys can hear and see okay. We're going to do some life updates, and we're going to do some Q&A for you guys. As you guys can see in the background, it's a little chaotic in here. All right, sweet. So tech is all good to go. What is up, guys? How are you all doing tonight? I guess we'll start with quick life updates and check in and see how everyone is doing. What's up from Cali? Everything sounds clear. See Mr. Jason Baker. Got a couple of our VIP members up in here. What's up, Justin Pac-Man? All right, so where do I even start? I guess we'll start with this. How many of you follow our Instagram? Because I'm always curious. I forget that there's a portion of the YouTubers here that don't follow Instagram at all. So you guys have if you don't follow our Instagram, you've missed out on all kinds of stuff over the last few weeks. It's been nuts. But I did get the Shopco clean out video uploaded, so hopefully you guys got to check that out. That kind of gives you a glimpse of what we were up to. The crazy part about editing that video is, like, the whole thing was 19 minutes. Like, in 19 minutes, you guys got to see what we did for 2 days straight. It was kind of crazy, and I'm actually doing a part 2 video of that right now, which is how we processed everything. So you guys got to see the tear down and breakdown and clean out and getting it here to the office. But the second video I'm working on right now is actually showing you how I went about processing all of it. And I'll tell you guys this. When it was dropped off at the warehouse, I had 2 days. You guys saw how much space that took up, right? I had 2 days to clean and process as much as I could to get it out of the way because we hosted a warehouse sale that weekend. It was it was a busy week. And here's the craziest part. We had a camping trip that weekend and then the weekend after our warehouse sale. We did the warehouse sale Thursday, Friday. We left Friday night and got down to our camping spot. It was just it's been a crazy 14 days, man. It feels so good to just like chill, have a normal work schedule, nothing crazy. And then in a week and a half, Trista and I and our little one, Titus, who's 4.5 years old, we get to take him down to Disneyland. So we're going to take 6 days. We're taking 6 days off the grid. Probably going to, all you will see on social media is just going to be what we're doing in Disneyland. Talk about something else. That's a quick block. Sorry, buddy. This is my channel. I'll talk about whatever the hell I want. That's just how it works. How much are we projected to make from the Shopco trip? It's really hard to tell because even though we got a lot of good stuff, a lot of it's going to take a while to sell through. It's old tech. So not super high sell-through rate, not super fast flips, but the ROI is going to be awesome. So I'm expecting after all fees and shipping, like bare minimum, if I could just cash out and settle for rock bottom pricing, we should double our money. We spent $2K. We should make $2K net profit, which is $4K back in our pocket total gross. So that's what kind of what we're estimating. But on the optimistic side, I would be totally happy making 5 to 6K profit based on the amount of work that we put into it. But yeah, it was a lot of fun though. We love tearing stuff down like that and doing buyouts. Yeah, it's been a crazy few weeks, guys. That's why we haven't done like live streams. All this kind of stuff has just been on hold until this week. Kind of got back on track with everything. So what are you guys up to? Tell me more about you guys. What's the Instagram tag? If you just look up the Side Hustle Network, because somebody took Side Hustle Network. They don't even use the Instagram. That's the crazy part. Can I come to Disneyland? I'm on the way to the airport. I'm not going to say, like, let me just put it out there. Hold on, let me pull up my calendar. We are going to be in Disneyland, or I guess LA. We're doing like one beach trip before and one beach trip after. So the 23rd, that's this month. So really coming up in less than just shy of 2 weeks, the 23rd through 28th. We will be in LA. Most of that time is going to be in Disneyland. But we will be in LA. I can't stop you guys from showing up if you want to come and chill and hang out. But we're not doing an official meetup for that one because we're taking a second trip to LA in October. So just in a month, we're going to be back in LA for another trip I can't talk about here yet. But we will host an official Los Angeles meetup at a cool dinner spot. Am I going to Galaxy's Edge? Of course. That's the main reason we're going back. Actually, we're going back because Tristan and I have only ever done trips by ourselves. That's been our like anti-adulting getaway every year. So this is the first time we get to take our 4-year-old. So we're more excited as parents to see his reaction with everything. It's going to be so fun, though. That's going to be the first legit vacation we take in a long time because every traveling thing we've done this year has always been like a conference, meetups. It's always just been chaotic, busy, which is fine. We love doing that stuff. But it's nice to just unplug, not think about business at all for an entire week. I'm going to be posting Disneyland on my Instagram like all day. So just don't follow us on Instagram that week if you don't like Disney stuff. Yeah, Goodwill bins are killer down there. So we're going to probably get into some, we will get in some thrifting, some good stuff down there. Got Hugo and Tiffany. What's up? What's up? We'll definitely reach out and hit you guys up when we get down there. What are we doing at the vending machine? We decided to take both vending machines because we have one for drinks, one for food. We are going to test them out in a location here in town. Now, we're not in a super big town. We have about 30,000 people in our town. And we're just going to try just to put some feelers out. We've never done anything in the vending machine business. So we're just going to like put them out on get a location. That's probably the hardest part is finding a spot for these things. So once we get them to the location, we'll test them out for 3, 4, 5 months. If they're making money, then we're just going to keep them and keep doing it and maybe get more and put them in larger cities around here. If they don't work out, worst case scenario, I got them dirt cheap. I can flip them and make several $100s profit. So we've got plan B just in case we need it. But hell, we're Side Hustle Network. We got to try out different side hustles, right? Just started Amazon FBA and eBay reselling in 1 week. I've had $850 in sales just for eBay. I'm sending my first Amazon shipment today. George, that is amazing, man. Congrats on the killer first week. My first week, I made like probably $50. I don't even know. I'd have to go back and look. Probably less than $100 my first week. All right, so those are kind of our life updates. It's been hectic. We've got the 4-year-old. His energy is just wild and crazy as always. We've got Isla, who's the new baby, but now she is coming up on 4 months old. Actually think today's the 10th. So in 2 days, she'll be 4 months old. So she's keeping us busy with the baby life. She's getting into a sleep routine. So not as much baggage under the eyes from lack of sleep, but we're doing well. We're doing well. Disneyland burpees. When I started the whole like burpee challenge, I didn't really think about that until a couple days ago. I'm like, shit, I'm going to have to do Disneyland burpees. It's happening. For those of you who don't know, if you don't follow our Instagram, I just randomly one day was like, I really want to just commit to doing these 30-day challenges because they keep me accountable to my own fitness. So I'm doing 30 days of 100 burpees every single day. And I put out an Instagram post thinking like 2 people would join. And we had like 15 or 18 people join. It's been awesome. So shout out to Sell Quick, Ship Quick. I'm going to mess your guys' name up again. Sell Quick, Ship Quick, Flip Quick, all the quicks. They're in there in our group. So kicking some butt. What's up, Pat? Thanks so much for the super chat, man. Towards the gas money for the next month. We will need it. So yeah, it's kind of our life updates. And aside from that, my wall is like empty right now. I pulled most of my stuff down, my personal collector's items, all these like, y'all know I'm digging my 1988 Ninja Turtle set. I have the entire set now. And there's actually a sold comp on Etsy as of 2 days ago for $2,000 for these things. I have the exact same set, almost in the exact same condition, the exact same amount of unpunched as well. So I potentially have like probably a $1,600 or $1,700 set right there. So all my personal collection item came off the wall. I'm redoing all of it. And I actually bought more shelving. So it's going to be across the other side of the wall too. And I'm going to start displaying all of the high ticket stuff that I have for sale. I've got a bunch of like vintage Apple posters, just really cool stuff. So I'm going to start displaying all that out. So yeah, that's kind of our life update. Let me crack one of these. All right, so I am here for you guys, though. That's enough about me. What are you guys up to? Do you have questions, and how can I best help you? Holy crap. Picked up a GameCube and 50 games for $30. That's awesome. The GameCube by itself will sell for 30, and that's just money on top with those 50 games. And GameCube games are crazy money on some of those titles. Like, never pass up GameCube. Never pass up games without checking them in general, but GameCube especially. The resale value is awesome on most of them. I've been doing a lot of pallet stores and buying Amazon returns. We have 4 of these places in my small town. Do you guys have any type of place? Do you have any advice? Jacob, I am so freaking jealous because, to my knowledge, I've looked many, many times. We do not have any local liquidation centers that have that type of like walk in and buy a pallet scenario. I would freaking demolish. Like, I would do that every single day because that's how I've got our inventory for our warehouse sales. Let me turn this thing off. It's going to be, got one of my Walmart managers text me right now some deals. I got to turn that off for now. I've purchased many, many pallets for resale in our local warehouse sale, and it's done awesome. But I have to pay shipping on all that stuff because I cannot find any local liquidation centers around here. So if you have access to those, I mean, that's amazing. More power to you. I would honestly, if I had access to one, I would be there every single day, every week, buying up pallets. Oh, it's amazing. George picked up Smash Bros. For GameCube, $5 at the garage sale. Nice. Actually, if anyone, I'll just put it out there. I am now buying for my own personal collection. Eventually down the road, later on, like a few years down the road, I will be reselling this stuff. But I am now actually on collector status for this kind of stuff. New in box vintage games, vintage toys, action figures. If you guys have any of that you want to sell, shoot me a DM on Instagram, the Side Hustle Network, because I'm actively buying right now. It's kind of like micro investing, but also I get to fuel my collector's high that I get from this stuff, the nostalgia. So that's actually one of the games is GameCube Smash Bros. If you guys have that in the case, doesn't have to be factory sealed, of course. That's worth way more than what I want to pay. But if you guys have something like that for sale, then shoot me a DM. I'm more than happy to do some business with you guys. I would just rather support you guys as the audience first because I am sniping some deals off of eBay for my own collection. But if you guys have this kind of stuff and you want to sell it, then hit me up, and I'm more than happy to support you guys on that. But it's got to be stuff I want, right? Like, I'm going for the nostalgia effect. I'm looking for the Street Sharks, the Ninja Turtles, the Power Rangers, all that kind of stuff. Star Wars. I never got into Star Trek. Don't kill me. We're not going to get into this debate, but I never got into Star Trek. But Star Wars, yes. How do you find good deals at Discounts Plus? Sometimes that's a local chain that somebody's referring to around here. I've been in there, again, I live an hour away from there, so I don't go in there a lot. There probably are great deals I just miss, but I've been in there probably 10 times total in a couple different locations. I found a couple things, but nothing groundbreaking. I'm sure those types of places, some of them have to do the research. Some of them don't. Those are the great honey holes for us, but I've not found any home runs in there yet. How do you ship games, padded mailers, boxes? It depends on if it's a loose game by itself. Typically, I'll make like a cardboard backing, stretch wrap that, or if I really want to go all out, I'll bring out the shrink wrap machine and shrink wrap it, and then you can ship it out in a bubble mailer. It's probably the most common method. I've got a bunch of these small little boxes that still weigh enough that I can get under 16 ounces for first class, so I use those a lot. I prefer to box my stuff way more than poly mailers because I've had my own items that I purchase damaged in poly mailers and bubble mailers, so I much prefer just small, lightweight boxes. But of course, it's all personal preference. Whoa, chat's flying down. Let me get bumped back up here. I have a hard time figuring out what a single stitch is for vintage tees. Would you know? I personally do not know anything about clothing stuff. It's just like I can spot vintage Nike and like cool logos and rock bands, rock bands logos and different stuff like that. But I know nothing about clothing. I don't know the stitches and all that stuff. Rally Roots would be the one to reach out to for that one. What's your advice on getting Ungated on Amazon? It depends on which categories. There's different parameters around different categories and brands. If it's a brand that's tough to get into, I would definitely recommend. I'll actually put in the link in the description below. We've partnered with William Bailey, I believe is his last name, but he runs Help You Amazon, and we've got an affiliate link with him. So if you choose to support it, we thank you. We do get a kickback from that. But he's the one I recommend. He will give you the exact supplier and tell you exactly what to order to get the invoice you need to get Ungated in pretty much anything. So he's the one we recommend. I haven't been able to find any good liquidation warehouses around the Portland metro area. It sucks. Yes, it does. Do I still collect Funko? Yes, I do. I actually went through and I got rid of, I probably had 60 or 70 Funko Pops that I've just been kind of collecting over the last few years since I got into the whole collecting side of this. But I went through over our last warehouse sale. I got rid of almost all of them. I'm now to a point where I only want to collect stuff that gives me like extreme nostalgia, or it's a rare, hard to find item. Those are the things I'm getting into. So I liquidated all my common stuff, but I'm still keeping like my Stan Lees, some of my store exclusives that are not easy to find, that kind of stuff I'm keeping now. See, we got Mr. Martin, Real Life FBA in the house. Smash Bros, Double Dash, Mario Party 5 all day. Nice. Yeah, if you guys got Smash Bros, I'm open to buying. Just shoot me a message with photos and whatever your asking price is. Now, keep in mind, I'm a thrifter too. I don't want to pay retail on this stuff. I want to support you guys, but I'm not paying retail on this stuff. I would much rather find all my stuff in the wild at thrift stores and garage sales and stuff, but that's just not viable. So I got to pay up on some of it. Baby's doing very well. Baby Isla is almost 4 months. She's getting into somewhat of a sleeping pattern. Huge shout out to my wife, Trista. She takes most of like the midnight feedings, and she's bottle fed now, so I can help out a lot more. So she takes the midnight feedings. Usually she's up between like 1. She'll be up at one time at about 12 or 1, and then she'll be up again at about 5 or 6. I take the early morning shift. Because I've been getting up at 5 or 6 in the morning anyways, so it kind of just works out perfect for both of us. But she's growing, she's eating, she's sleeping, she's pooping, she's doing well. Farm Girl Scavenger, Miss Noelle up in the house. What is up? Got to hang out with her and Mr. Jake, Portland Pickers the other day. That was a lot of fun. Yeah, the other day. It was yesterday. It's already feeling like a long week for some reason. Have I had any luck with computer printers? I've sold many printers. They're very, very profitable, but there have been a lot of returns on those. So I'm 50-50 on them. I don't like to ship a lot of printer stuff anymore unless it's toner. But the actual printers, I'll ship small ones. But the big stuff, I'm kind of like over. Yes, there's money to be made, and I'm leaving money on the table all the time. But it's just not my cup of tea anymore. It's just I had too many returns on that stuff. How's the wholesale model going? Do you follow Dylan's guidelines or just do your own thing? I definitely follow what Dylan teaches. Dylan Carter with wholesale. I'm trying to find. So if you guys look up Vendrive, that's who we're referring to. And most of you guys have seen Dylan on our show by now. So yeah, Dylan, definitely follow his model and his advice. I love that method. And he has got way more than one method too. But wholesale's kind of been stagnant. It's on hold because we ran into capital issues. So we haven't had excess capital to put into wholesale like we should be doing. It's been needing to go to other places recently. So we're kind of balancing that, like with what capital we have to choose like where it gets dispersed out to. So wholesale has not been up and running at the pace that we needed to. And that's just part of the game. Sometimes you've got excess capital you can play around with. Sometimes it's going to be a little bit tighter. So it's kind of what we're in right now. Still going to send Trista up there for her Disney. She loved her sweatshirt that she got. Noelle, shout out to Farm Girl Scavenger. Noelle hooked us up with a vintage Donald Duck sweatshirt that I loved the second I saw it, and Trista is loving it. Probably going to be pinned right up on her wall here once we're all done with it. It's just such a cool looking piece. Yeah, I do need to send her up there, though. Send her up there with a blank check. Let her have some fun. How do you sell items with or without tags? Or how do you sell items with or without tags? Is it good to leave tags on items when new to sell on eBay? Yeah, never take tags off, like the actual tag that goes on the product. Never take those off if you have them on there. Now, price tags, Ross tags, TJ Maxx, that kind of stuff, of course, take off the price tags. Common sense right there. But yeah, leave your tags on there. There's no reason to take those off. Anyone do banana box grocery buys? I found a few items in my Amish salvage stores. Profitable, not out of date. Trying to figure out where to get them. I've heard of those stores, and again, I'm jealous. We do not have those around here. We've got a few hole-in-the-wall spots I found that are decent. Obviously, I'm not going to say what they are here on the interwebs, but I found a few hole-in-the-wall places. They're not nearly what those are. Banana box grocery. Man, these are literally liquidation places you just walk into, and they just have literal banana boxes full of grocery stuff, or you can take a box and fill it up for X amount of dollars. And there's some extremely profitable stores out there around the U.S. that are like that. Unfortunately, we don't have a lot of them around here. Do I drive down to Eugene to source? Yes, I do. We were just down there. That's where we did our last camping trip at. Hit some garage sale to warehouse sale down there. A lot of fun. Nice. Tested TJ Maxx. Bought a $9 Viking shirt. Sold it for $29 in 10 hours. That's where it's at. That's a sweet spot. Of course, Noelle's got the hookup with the 2 honey holes right there. I haven't looked that hard. But yeah, I'm definitely game to check some of those stores out. I know of a few, but they're not on like that level that I've seen Instagram people post about. We have good stuff in Oregon, don't get me wrong. We just don't have some of the other stuff that some of the other guys do. There's some good spots around Oregon if you know where to look. And people are like, how do you know where to look? Like, I've been doing this for 4 years now. I've looked many places. That's how I know. You can't go out for a few weeks scavenging around your city and expect to find honey holes. It's something that just comes with time. And oftentimes it's not you going out and finding it. It's getting a connection to somebody that knows of the spot. Long-time Amazon seller trying to find out how you find it justifiable to spend time at yard sales, Salvation Army type service sourcing versus doing OA, RA much faster and easier. Please explain. This is a common thing that gets brought up. It all comes down to having multiple streams of income for us. And I've said this many times. Would it be smarter and more business financially efficient if I went all in on wholesale, all in on online arbitrage, and just had my employees prepping and shipping for Amazon all day? Yes. But I have zero joy in that. I will literally give up Amazon any day to keep doing what we're doing with eBay. And I know that's a completely like out of left field thing for some people, but that for me is writing the line of I've got to do things that bring me joy, and they may not be the things that bring the most income, and they're not the most efficient. But that's just for me personally. That's what I choose to do, because when it comes down to finding stuff like this is my game. I freaking love doing this stuff. You throw at me like a chapstick that I can buy wholesale and make $5 on, I get nothing out of that except for some finances, but cool. Like, I'm not in this to make $1 million. I'm in this to have a shit ton of fun, get connected with you guys as the community. And as long as my bills are paid and I have money to go travel and buy some cool shit throughout my life, I'm good. So that's my take on that. But again, you're going to talk to some people that are 7-figure sellers and tell you that's the dumbest advice. I don't give a shit. It's my business. I run it the way I want to, and I have fun doing it. That's what counts. Oh no, I'm all blurry. Get back, get back, get back. Here we go. Oh no, I forgot I don't have an admin tonight. All right, let me get rid of some trolls here. Yeah, and Martin's a prime example of the other. He crushes my numbers. Like if we put our numbers next to each other, he crushes my numbers. But he's out doing retail arbitrage. Well, now switched over. He's all wholesale now for the most part. But yeah, he's buying and flipping those small items and he's good with taking a smaller ROI. And he has a shit ton of fun doing that. Like at the end of the day, if you can find something that you make money at and you enjoy doing, there's no right or wrong. No one can come in and tell you you're doing things the wrong way if you have fun doing it. Like if I was in a position where I can't pay my rent, I'm struggling with my finances, then yes, obviously I'm going to do the smarter business route. And I would stop doing so many garage sale hunting and things like that. But we're in a position where we found multiple ways to make money, and that's what our end game has always been, is side hustle network. It's not one hustle that makes up all of our income. It's multiple side hustles. So at the end of the day, if you're doing what you love, you have fun you don't even have to love it all the way, but if you have fun doing it, you enjoy it, and it's making you enough money to sustain the lifestyle you want, no one can tell you you are doing the wrong thing. It's your life. Do whatever the hell you want to do with it. Would I spend $50 on a single item if I knew it would sell for somewhat fast for $200 every single day? I would spend $100. I would spend $120. $120 is probably my top dollar. I would spend $120 if I knew I would make $200 back fairly quick. I think most people would. But yeah, some people are more of a thrifter, saver mindset where they only want to spend $1, $2, $5 on their inventory, and they can make 10x that. I'm okay with spending $100 to make $200, or I'm okay with spending $1 to make $5. That's kind of my wheelhouse. Everyone's a little bit different though. Some people don't like the risk of spending more on a single product. It all comes down to capital. The more capital you have to play with, the more your risk tolerance typically will be. If you don't have much capital to play with, don't be buying $50 items. Because that ties up most of your capital in one product. You got to spread it out in the beginning like that. Oh, how do I even narrow this down? If I could pick 2 of the most important tips to somebody completely new to FBA, what would they be? Man, my webcam is there we go. My autofocus is freaking out a little bit. If I could pick 2 of the most important tips to somebody completely new to FBA, what would they be? I mean, it's nothing groundbreaking aside from the general stuff. Like the biggest one is consistency. I see a lot of people, and I struggle with this too in the beginning, like everyone else. A lot of people come into this arena, this business world, this reselling game, like whatever you want to call it, and they quit within a year because they're not consistent. So consistency is always the key. Number 2 is choosing a method and doing that until you get good at it, and then bring in other methods. Like we didn't start out by running all the side hustles that we have, because we have Amazon FBA, we have eBay, we have local sales. Now we do our monthly warehouse sale, and we're now opening up our storefront Monday through Friday. So we have all those. And then in the online world, we run an online arbitrage list service called Daily OA. We have our VIP group. We have YouTube. We have affiliate marketing. We have social media. We didn't start out doing all of it because we would have failed real quick spreading ourselves too thin with no focus. In the beginning, you've got to focus on one thing until it starts to grow and get scalable, and outsource it perhaps. But it's got to grow, and you got to get good at it to the point where you're able to bring in something else that takes your focus away a little bit. The longtime viewers do remember when I hated eBay with a passion. I had zero desire for eBay at all, and now it's become just a lot of fun for me to do. And my third tip would match up exactly what Martin just said for FBA. You got to scan everything. You've got to scan everything. Yeah, avoid huge name brands. You'll be gated. Find the secondary brands. I completely agree with that. Amazon's just going to make it more and more difficult. Every single year, they're going to make it more and more difficult for the new sellers to come in. That's why we tell people, make your accounts now. Even if you aren't going to use them, make those accounts now. Because Amazon's going to get more and more difficult for the new seller. That's just personal opinion, of course. I could be wrong. Could be right. Goes either way. But yeah, if you focus on the less known brands, kind of the middle tier brands, those are the ones that you're going to play with in the beginning. And then once you have some selling history under your belt, you can apply and get auto approved for a lot of brands. It friggin' takes a long time to scan stuff that might be profitable to your standards for FBA, but it's worth it. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. What's up from Sherwood? We got a local person. We have a lot of local people in here. I'm always shocked when we do live streams. We get people who are like Eugene, Sherwood, Portland, Vancouver. And we're kind of like smack in the middle of everybody. We're right in McMinnville. Yeah, Sue started 4 years ago just like I did. It's been a lot. I mean, but back then it's like I was flipping liquidation pallets because there were no restrictions. There were no brand restrictions. Counterfeit claims were around, but they didn't get thrown out as much. We didn't deal with any of the crap that we have now. Can I share where I found out about the Shopko cleanout? We got messaged because of two people in the town that we cleared it out of. Two people, this liquidator was going around asking for anyone that knew anyone that bought this kind of inventory. Somebody dropped our name. Two different people name dropped us and said, hey, you might want to reach out to the Side Hustle Network people. So we lucked out. That wasn't like I went out and hustled and found that contact. No, not at all. We got hit up for that deal. We went and did a 2-hour walkthrough because it's a 125,000 square foot building. It's massive. Have you guys all seen that clean out video by now? You saw how big the building was. So we did a 2-hour walkthrough, and then we went back the following Monday ready to work. We brought the tools, we brought hands, and we got some good scores out of there. New sub, first live. Welcome in. Yeah, that was a crazy luck deal. A lot of people are like, you know, how'd you find the wholesale suppliers? Sometimes we get reached out to from suppliers. So there's no, aside from doing what we did for 4 years to build this channel and make the content, that's the work that went into it. But it's not like I went out and found some of the suppliers. Thoughts on no reseller stickers being put on items? Never ran into it, so I don't really have an opinion on it. Any tips to get started with wholesale legit? Go check out a couple people. One is going to be Dylan Carter with Vendrive. So just go to Instagram. He's got a Facebook group. All that stuff will be linked in the bottom here. So Dylan's a really, really great resource for that. His Facebook group, he does live sourcing with you guys and shows you guys some tips and tactics in his Facebook group. So I recommend you join that. Second would be Larry Lombarski. So he's another great resource. I think most of them know it. Watch Me FBA on Instagram, another great resource. Can I delete a listing even if the item is in reserved? I've never tried. I would probably recommend that you wait until it's not reserved and then delete the listing. Because if it's reserved, it's either ordered or it's on its way to a different fulfillment center, which will then go active. But if you have no listing active, it won't sell. So I'd recommend you wait until it's out of reserved. Any suggestions or pointers for beginners? I'm just starting. I just opened my account. Well, congrats on opening up the account. A lot of people don't even make it that far. A lot of people sit here and ponder around YouTube for days and weeks and months, and some people years. They don't do a damn thing about it. And I can tell you as a YouTuber, I can probably speak on behalf of most of the YouTubers as well and the content creators. We don't want you watching our content if you're not doing anything with the info, right? Take the information or take the motivation that you get from watching these videos and go do shit. That's what we want you to do. We want to get a message one day that says, hey, because of this video I saw or because of you, I was able to do X, Y, Z. Thank you. Those are the messages we love to see. We don't like to see the messages that are like, hey, I've been watching you for 6 months. I haven't really done anything yet. That's not inspiring. We want to make sure you guys are actually doing with the info. And that's why most of us get up here and talk on YouTube and share info, is because we want to see you guys succeed. Everyone's like, why do you create your own competition with YouTube videos, which I think is complete and utter bullshit. If you are living out of a scarcity mindset, you're not going to make it very far, my friends. There is so much abundance in this earth and in this world to attain that me doing some YouTube videos are going to completely take away everyone's supply. That's not how this works. There's literally millions and millions and millions of products. So stop living out of a scarcity mindset. That's you. But we get up here and we share our journeys, we share our stories, we document, we create tutorials, we create this information, these live Q&As, simply for the fact that I want to get a message from one of you one day. It could be a week from now or a year from now that says, hey, you did a video on this topic one time. You told me to get off my ass and go do work, and I did it, and here's what happened. Those are the messages we want to get. Thoughts on selling used electronics on Amazon? So far, I've done it with no issues. I've not heard of any people actually having legitimate issues from doing it. And my thought process is, why would Amazon give us a used category if they didn't want us selling used products? I don't know. But then again, it's Amazon. They could friggin' shut it down or send out IP claims from brands. It's anything on Amazon, any type of reselling on Amazon is a risk, even wholesale. I know people that have gotten hit and shut down for IP claims on wholesale products. So I'm not saying that to scare anyone, right? The chances are like super, super tiny on that happening. But my personal opinion is Amazon is a risky platform no matter what. It's just a matter of your risk tolerance. Just started a month ago too. So far, I'm down about $50 because of buying supplies, but I'm having a lot of fun with it and look forward to the next year. Awesome. Yeah, you're still in the beginning phase. And you guys have to be okay with spending money to make money. There's so many people that try to like penny pinch and like, no. You are choosing to go in a business that requires money. Don't come into this and think you can bare bones everything and find the cheapest inventory everywhere and make a lot of money doing it. It takes money to make money in this. You've got to be okay with investing. I'm not saying go buy dumb shit or stuff that you're not going to use. Buy the equipment that you know you need, right? And it's not much, right? Get a printer, get a scanner, and like you're good. You don't need much else. As you start to grow and scale and develop, then you start to look at ways to save time. That's where a repricer comes in. That's where things like Inventory Lab come in. You start to find ways to save time. But in the beginning, be okay with spending a few bucks, right? I spent like $250 on supplies when I first started. I was in the whole $250. But because of the money I spent, I was able to be a lot more efficient than if I didn't. I'm not saying go out and spend $250. By the way, I hope none of you are like, oh, Chaz told me to go. No. Be smart. Buy the stuff that you need. Be okay with spending money on product. It's scary as shit. I still have times where I look at our warehouse, I'm like, oh, dear God. I've literally got like probably $50,000 just sitting in this warehouse. And there's days where it's like, that's all tied up in inventory. That should be in my bank. You can't live out of that mindset in this business. You are choosing to be in a business that doesn't necessarily require time. It requires money. That's just the nature of the game. And when you start to break away from looking at it as, if I go out and I spend, let's say this is worth probably like $40 right now. So if I bought this for $10, you can't look at it as like, oh my gosh, I'm $10 less in my bank account. You have to look at it as, no, I invested in a product that's going to make me 40. Okay. That's the kind of mindset it's all micro investing. This is almost no different than doing real estate. You're just doing much smaller numbers. So it's micro investing in each little product that you buy. The money will come back. Some of it will take longer, but then again, gets into like the cash flow. You got to think about, I always tell people quick flips in the beginning to build up your cash flow. When you start to have more capital to play with, then you can start investing in longer tail items. But in the beginning, just quick flip. I don't care if you're doing 10% ROI. Quick flip, quick flip, quick flip until you have cash flow going. My chat bumped down. Have I heard of Viral Launch? Is it better than Jungle Scout? I've not ever used Viral Launch. I've played around with Jungle Scout. Wasn't personally a fan. Viral Launch, I've heard many, many good things about. I've just never truly tested it. Hey, there you go. eBay since 1998 made a small fortune on Beanie Babies and Barbies. That would have been such a fun time to know about this stuff. Then again, 1998, I was 10 years old, so I probably wouldn't have been doing this. I was too busy playing with this stuff, not flipping it. That's the sad part about collecting this now, by the way. I paid up on these Ninja Turtle sets. I remember getting these for my birthdays and like tearing the packages open. And now it's kind of painful. And like Street Sharks, I remember tearing open Street Sharks for my birthday and Christmas. And those things are worth hundreds of dollars now if they have the box. It's crazy. Matt's been a diehard. He said, my business is very different than Chaz, and I have followed him since day one. First of all, much, much, much love, much appreciation for you, my friend. And anyone who's been following us for a while, because we've had this channel for almost 4 years. This December will be 4 years, which is nuts to even think about. You guys have seen everything. You've seen me since I did my first video, and I was like, hey, guys, and I literally did it with my phone. I was like, hey, guys, my name's Chaz. I'm going to try this Amazon thing. I think I was at $800 in sales at the time or something like that. And I was about 3 weeks in, and it just, you guys have been here through everything. You've seen us get our first little warehouse spot, which is a couple units over. You saw us upgrade to this warehouse spot. And we're not doing like crazy big numbers by any means, but you know, we do enough to have our bills paid. We get to do a little bit of traveling, get to spend time with my family. That's all there is to it for me. I kind of don't even have like a desire to be pocketing $1 million a year. I don't like, I used to chase the idea of doing 7 figures revenue in our business. Like I need $1 million business. Like, no, I'd be able to do a lot of cool shit and help a lot of people doing that. Cause I will, if we do get to the point where we have more money than what we need, like we're just going to bless and help people. That's what we're put on this earth for. But we're pretty minimalist type people. All right, let me scroll down, make sure I got all your questions answered. What time we got? 6:11. So we got about 9 more minutes, 9 to 12 more minutes, and I got some more work to do. I'm gonna finish building out this entire wall of shelving and get everything all cleaned up. There you go. Found a brand new pair of black leather Z-Coil shoes today for $2. That's a score. Mr. Thrifty Santa up in the house. What is going on, my friend? It's been a while. I just moved. My night is trying to find the crap I sold the past 2 days. Oh, no. Oh, that's how our warehouse felt for a long time. Because, of course, does anyone else, well, now we're all skewed out and organized, but I spent so long just like, I had everything memorized. I knew exactly where everything was. And then when I hired an employee to do my shipping, that's when I realized I can't just keep everything up here. Like, oh, it's on the red shelf, bottom left corner. Oh, it's on the secondary shelf next to the red shelf, top. Like, that's when he called me out one day, my man Ryan. He's like, is there a way to come up with like something that would tell me where it's at without you memorizing it? I'm like, oh, I probably should come up with like an actual inventory system. So I know that feeling of like selling a bunch of stuff and then going, oh shit, where'd it go? Where'd it go? Oh, shout out to Martin. He's doing his weekly ad buy, Real Life FBA on YouTube. Go give him a follow. Martin's one of the real ones. There's very few people like Martin on the interwebs these days. Martin is actually showing raw footage. He's showing like his profit and loss report straight from Inventory Lab. He's showing all the good stuff. So definitely go give my man a follow. Plus, he's one of our best VIP long-term members. Any recommendations for Q4 since I'm a newbie, what to look for Black Friday especially? We won't know about Black Friday until they come out with ads. That's typically where we go through and snipe, and we usually create some type of Black Friday list, which is a buy list. That's how we do it. As far as recommendations for Q4, it depends on the types of products you're going after. And it depends if we're talking about eBay or Amazon, because kind of there's a lot of depends in there. So I just need more info on kind of what your business model is. Oh my gosh, we got my sister on here. What's up, little sis? I saw you text me a little bit ago, but I was on this. Oh, you texted the whole fam. Did we hit with the storm? We didn't get hit. Did Salem get hit? Yeah, it's actually sunny out right now. Left a like and sub. There you go, Martin. You got one more. Your $2 bought one subscriber. Hopefully more than one person hopped over. Hopefully one more. Both Amazon and eBay. So, I mean, it depends on which route you want to go. You have the hot toy chasers, which very competitive game, and you're dealing with a lot of IP claim stuff nowadays. The bigger the brands are, the more they're starting to not want those huge price pikes. Well, pikes. I was trying to say peaks and spikes. Those huge price spikes that happen because of third-party resellers. A lot of brands don't like that. They want to get them to their customers' hands at an affordable price. So they are starting to send out a lot of IP claims for stuff. So you can go down the route chasing hot toys. There's a lot of hot toy Facebook groups, Instagram pages. You can follow those, see what all the moms are chasing for their kids, and start to go down that route. I'm actually a fan now because I've done the hot toy game for a couple of years. I'm now a bigger fan to branch away from that as much and get more into like seasonal grocery, home and kitchen stuff that people aren't necessarily hunting down as much, because a lot of people are going for the flashy toys, which is fine. There's a lot of money to be made there. It's very, very competitive in IP claims. But if you get into the other categories that are also selling well during Q4, those are really good ones to go for. Silver Buyer said donate $3 more and I'll subscribe to your FBA. All right, today we're going to auction off Mr. Real Life FBA Martin's YouTube channel for subscribers, starting bid $3. Oh my gosh, we can have so much fun doing that. I'll take anything that is actually donated to our channel and make sure I get it to him. George, that is a problem. That should not be a thing. I paid for your VIP group and still have a pending approval. And you should have been approved the day you paid. Shoot me an email, Chaz, C-H-A-Z, at sidehustlenetwork.com, and I will get you taken care of tonight, and I will refund you any time that's passed, because that should not have happened. My apologies on that one. Any info regarding first sale doctrine, real data points, what doesn't it or does it cover? I honestly have not looked into it a whole lot. I am not a wealth of info on that one. What do you recommend to get items approved to sell them? Are you emailing and asking the companies to give you approval letters? Typically, you're not going to get an approval letter just by sending an email. Typically, the best route is to open up a wholesale account with a distributor or the brand themselves, order the 10 products on whatever the brand is, and then use that invoice to get approved. That's like the most bare bone way to describe it. There's ungating services. There's one in particular that we recommend. The only one that we recommend if you are going to pay anyone to help you with it. There's only one person we recommend for that. So if you guys want info on that, check the description in the video. If you are live right now, it will be in the description afterwards. You know what I could probably do is actually just drop that in the chat for the live people. If you are watching the recording, it will be in the description below. But for those of you that are not watching the recording, major toy brands, Nike, Under Armour, There's one person we recommend because they do it the correct way, not the way of giving you fake invoices like other providers. There's only one person we recommend. I just posted their link in the chat. So if you want to go down the route of paying for it, it's all convenience. If you want to save a bunch of time, you can do it that way. Hello, new fan and reseller. Welcome in. Any experience with getting Amazon to release inventory that's been locked up due to a complaint? I have not personally dealt with that, so I do not know what the method would be. I'm assuming it's just the waiting game at that point. Get the complaint taken care of first and foremost, because Amazon is all about the customer. And then second would be open up a follow-up case and say, hey, because they don't communicate with each other. You can talk to 2 reps about the same thing, you get 2 different answers sometimes. It doesn't make sense. But get the complaint issue taken care of first, and then open up a secondary case linking to the first case and try to get that locked up inventory released. Will Black Friday be a good time to buy many products to sell? Yes, but there's a but in there. You've got to be quick on your flips with Black Friday because prices will tank, especially if you do the video game hustle. I love video games during Black Friday, but I do not recommend that you buy them expecting to make a lot of money a month after. When it comes to Black Friday and video games especially, you have to play quick flips. I'm talking like you sell that stuff in under a week, or you have to wait until all the prices, all the price tankers get sold out, the prices hopefully recover, which sometimes they don't. There's many times that the price has not. But you can then cash out after everyone else is sold out. I'm a fan of doing merchant-filled video games after Black Friday because while everyone is prepping their FBA shipments, you are already cashing in and selling off of that listing. By the time all the FBA people send in their thousands of video games, all the prices naturally will kind of come down. It's all supply and demand. If there's a rush of supply, demand comes down, and prices are going to come down with that. Yeah, Sue nailed it, and she's been doing this a long time. I think January sales too, fitness, New Year's resolutions. There's so many seasonal things out there. That's why I tell people don't get caught up in the toy hustle during Q4. There's so many other seasons of so many things, grocery items especially. Yeah, for ungating, they just want invoices. They do not want online arbitrage and retail receipts. Can you get ungated with retail receipts is a very common question. It does happen, but it's not very common anymore that it does happen, and you have to know exactly how to annotate and word your application to get that done. So there's people that have gotten it done, but it's not a very easy thing to do. So they want distributor invoices is what they're looking for. Back in the day, I'd camp out at Best Buy, get a desktop, laptop, TV, use it for 6 months, and then sell it for more on Craigslist. That's awesome. We do not have any pets. Our current duplex that we live in, because we just ran out of a little duplex, our current duplex does not allow pets, but I actually am a huge fan of birds. That's going to be your random fun fact of the day. I grew up, so my grandma's house, let's do a little story time, shall we? I grew up spending summers at my grandma's house in Eastern Oregon, and we live on the west side of Oregon. So it's a 4-hour drive. My mom would literally drop me off in June after school is out, and then I'd stay there all summer. She had a zoo, literally a zoo. I grew up with reptiles of all kinds. I grew up with the guinea pigs. She had macaws, like huge Amazon-style parrots. She had literally 48 birds. I counted them one time when I was a kid, 48 birds. And all these animals were under the same roof. It was crazy. So I grew up around birds. Love parrots to death. So that's my one animal, if I could choose any, would be. There's my fun fact of the day. I'll use that on a giveaway in the future. So just timestamp that little weird nugget of info in the back of your head. Haha, hell yeah. I was out at Walmart on Sunday and saw they had TI-30 calculators on clearance for $2. Bought all 35 of them, as you should. Walmart every now and then, Target not as much sometimes. Walmart sometimes clearances out calculators stupid cheap. I've made some dough doing the Walmart calculator game. Does it require any certification to sell grocery? No, it does not. You just have to be approved in the brand, and you can go out and do retail arbitrage, online arbitrage, wholesale distributors, whatever you want to do for that. But yeah, there's no special cert that you need. All right, crew, we are getting to our time. A few last minute questions, and I've got to get back to work. Is it a good idea to sell a used printer on FBA? It's big and heavy. I've sold many printers on FBA. It was very high return rate, so I stopped doing it. But if you don't get a return and you don't mind bubble wrapping and boxing, there's some good money to be made. All right. Let's scroll down to the bottom here. I can tell when Trista is ordering stuff because I just got an email up top here. It says your Amazon order is confirmed. I wonder what she's ordering. All right, crew. That is going to be all for the night. Feels good to be back on semi-regular schedule. We will be down in LA taking a week off. So in 2 weeks, I will be off the grid. Probably will not be doing a live video that week, but I'll make sure I have enough pre-recorded content that we can be uploading normally for you guys. But aside from that being said, thank you all for tuning in. Hope you guys have an amazing night. If you have any questions, I am now back actively hitting my DMs, my inbox on Instagram, The Side Hustle Network. You can also always send me an email, Chaz, C-H-A-Z, at sidehustlenetwork.com, and I'll get back to you guys in the timely manner that your message was sent, because I get several hundred per week. So I'm doing better at getting caught up with those. But thank you all for tuning in. Peace out, crew. We'll see you next time.